To increase awareness of the many activities in which ASBMB is engaged, I'm holding a series of conversations with chairs of the committees that steer the direction of ASBMB initiatives. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Ed Eisenstein of the Membership Committee, which focuses on the retention, growth, and engagement of the ASBMB membership. The committee is charged with considering, reviewing, and recommending actions to implement programs, benefits, and services to advance the mission of the society and meet the needs of its members. Ed is an associate professor of bioengineering at the University of Maryland, and he has chaired the committee since 2019. Ed, thank you for joining me this morning. To begin, I'd like to know a little about your experience as an ASBMB member. When did you first become a member, and what were your reasons for joining the ASBMB?
Well, first of all, Ann, thanks a lot for the opportunity to chat with you and with our members, and look forward to our conversation. So I joined ASBMB when I was a postdoctoral fellow with Howard Schachman at UC Berkeley. It was in the late 80s when Howard was then president of ASBMB. And it was actually an interesting time for the society. Two noteworthy aspects here. One was it was when the society changed its name from the American Society for Biological Chemists to the American Society for Molecular and Biochemistry and Molecular Biology, or ASBMB. And also it was at the time when you didn't have to be nominated to be a member, and you didn't have to have published a first author paper to be a member. And although I had a couple of those criteria, I didn't have to go through that lengthy process, and it was merely a matter of filling out an application and joining. So, and I joined back then and haven't looked back since. The main reason I joined the society, aside from Howard twisting my arm a little bit and telling me I ought to do it, and of course I would listen to his advice, was that I did have some scientific and career aspirations, and I was encouraged by what I thought the society had available, and I think they still have a lot available to help scientists reach their goals. And it's been a great relationship. They've trusted me as a meetings organizer, as an editor for JBC, as a member of a couple of different committees, and now as chair of the membership committee. So I feel like we've had a great ride, and I really appreciate what they've done for me in my career, and I look to give back to some other members in the society.
Thanks, Ed. That's a great story about your joining ASBMB initially, and kind of highlights the importance of senior members in encouraging the membership of their trainees and junior members.
Yeah.
So you're a faculty member in the Department of Bioengineering at the University of Maryland with a research program that focuses on engineering plants. Can you tell me a little bit about your research?
Sure. I'll tell you, I'll mention a couple of things. So my training is really in biochemistry and molecular biology, structural enzymology. I had a long career as a university administrator, where I ran a biotechnology center for the university, and even served the term as university president. And after doing some administrative work, I decided rather than continue in that path, I wanted to turn back. I shifted my focus from looking at the molecular interactions among proteins to thinking about engineering plants. I really wanted to address the energy crisis about 10 years ago. So we work on poplar trees as a model to develop healthy bioenergy and biofeedstock sources. And our work primarily involves doing molecular, cellular, and genome engineering, and we're trying to redesign aspects of their immune system to make them more resistant to pathogens and pests, modulating some effects of abiotic challenges like excess ultraviolet light or things like drought, and also to improve nutrient acquisition, like nitrogen acquisition in particular. So So yeah, so it's been very interesting. It's been something I've wanted to do since I was an undergraduate, never had the time to do. And I finally thought it's about time I did something that I wanted to do.
That's great. Given the multidisciplinarity and breadth of your research, what attracts you to the ASBMB as a professional society?
So so as you mentioned, I'm a member of a bioengineering department, and the main reason I affiliated with that department was because I wanted to build a plant. And the thing that keeps me attracted to SBMB, first and foremost, is the multidisciplinary nature of our science in biochemistry and molecular biology. I was trained, as I mentioned, in biochemistry and molecular biology with an aim towards trying to uncover mechanism. And as I say to my engineering students who typically don't care a lot about mechanism, it isn't overrated that if we really want to redesign systems or re-engineer systems, having a better understanding of mechanism is really critical. And I feel like the society is a great scientific organization where I can continue to learn a lot about molecular mechanisms in biology. The other thing that keeps me engaged in the society, aside from some of the things I mentioned earlier about my interactions, is some of the terrific benefits. So I've urged a lot of my engineering students to join the society, even though it might not be their first discipline, because of some of the assets. For instance, I've had a number of students take the Art of Science Communication course, which has helped them tremendously through getting through their prelim exams and defending their dissertations to get a lot more comfortable about talking about their science. So there's just a couple of reasons why I still think the society has a lot to offer for folks.
From your perspective, what was the most important new initiative of the membership committee during your past term as chair?
So that's a great question, Anne, and I think that by far the most significant accomplishment is the development of the ASBMB fellows. So as you know, the ASBMB or ASBC, as it was formerly known, was one of the oldest scientific societies in the country. And we were one of the last to recognize fellows of our society. And our committee really rallied around this idea because we thought it was important to recognize our fellows because they would be a visible sign of the society's values. Terrific science, terrific outreach, terrific education, commitment to life science ideals and education and outreach. So, in forming or in starting that program, we were very hopeful that not only would our fellows continue to be good ambassadors, but we could provide them with more information and opportunity to be good ambassadors. So, I think it's been a really great step.
Can you tell me what particular attributes weigh most heavily in the committee's selection of fellows?
Sure, that's a good question too, and one that, in spite of us trying to make that clear on the web and in the application or nomination process, we still get a lot of questions. Our rubric calls for recognizing really our distinguished members that demonstrate an exceptional and sustained commitment to the society. Okay, so and particularly in ways that advance molecular life sciences. So it's also important that the fellows reflect the breadth and diversity of our membership. Okay, whether they're a researcher, an educator, a mentor, or an advocate for the field. Okay, so it's not just about the best science. It's about all the aspects that our society sort of takes under its wing. So nominations are from the regular industry, affiliate, and even emeritus members. We have a subcommittee led by Judy Bond, who of course is a past president of ASBMB. That subcommittee brings our deliberations to the full committee where we have a vote. And then of course we bring those to the ASBMB Council for final approval, and they extend the recognition to our fellows.
Thanks. That hopefully will give some people an idea of how to approach the nomination process this year.
Right.
The ASBMB membership committee has 18 members that represent scientists at all career stages and with positions in academia, research institutes, and industry. How do these committee members contribute to the goals of the committee?
So that's a great question. First of all, we meet regularly. Okay, so they have to be able to volunteer some time. About every month or so, sometimes more often. In the summer, maybe a little less often, like a lot of committees. But there are a few things they have to contribute. First, they certainly contribute their time, their attention, and their talent to look at the benefits that the society offers and figure out how well they're aligned with the current needs of membership. So because of that, we do have a very diverse committee. We have people at early stage, we have students, early career stage, mid-career stage, and some senior biochemists and molecular biologists, okay? We have people from industry, people who are outside of industry and nonprofits, and people in academia. And the value of that is that we feel like we have a good crosscut of society membership. So we have to keep an eye about what our benefits are and how we can keep them vibrant for members. And then lastly, they participate in a number of the programs we run at the annual meetings. So we have a new member orientation. We recognize and engage with our ambassadors and fellows. We interact with students and postdocs at the various symposia they have and try to make sure that the society's got their back as they advance for their career. So they keep busy at the annual meeting, not just by attending scientific sessions, but by working a lot at the scientific and collateral sessions that we offer.
In what ways can ASBMB members interact with the membership committee, and how can they help to further the goals of the membership committee?
So that's interesting. So in my experience, members are not shy. When they want to get a hold of somebody, they know how to reach out, and they do. But there are at least a couple of ways. One is they can certainly write anyone on the committee or me as committee chair. Or all our names are listed in the membership committee page. But just recently, ASBMB hired a new membership manager, Nakira Dumas. She's got a great background in society memberships. She's a data-driven scientist herself. I think she's got a lot of great experience to help us identify programs that will really add value to members and things they'd be interested in. I know I'm interested, and I can speak for the full committee that we're all interested in working with her more closely. And the society members can certainly reach out to Nakira in her role as membership managers with any questions, any interest in trying to contribute or cooperate or work with us, whether as a full member or even temporarily, if they have an idea for a symposium or some kind of workshop. So there are a couple of ways that society can definitely, members can certainly reach out and contact us or work with us.
This is the season for membership renewal. As people contemplate joining ASBMB or current members consider renewal, can you tell us what, from your perspective, you consider to be the value proposition for membership in ASBMB?
So sure. So that's the bread and butter of what I think the membership committee does. So I can say with great confidence from personal experience and also from working on the committee for a number of years that ASBMB really offers an awesome set of benefits for members at all stages of their careers, in no matter what their path is in molecular life science. We have programs for undergraduate students, graduate and postdoctoral trainees, young investigators, whether they're in academia, government, or industry, mid-career scientists and senior scientists. We have training programs that offer accredited certificates. We have seminars on managing your labs or your research team, trying to write grant proposals, successful grant proposals, how to transition from scientist to administrator, something I could have used a decade ago when I was doing that. How to engage with our public stakeholders. I mean, we have our members on the Hill Day, things like that. All these kind of opportunities and benefits for members. Plus, we have some of the most highly rated, highly impactful journals, and run some terrific meetings that members who are only interested in science can certainly avail themselves of. So I really feel it's got really everything that people could use throughout their entire career trajectory. And there's no reason not to be a lifelong member of ASBMB.
Thanks, Ed. It's been a pleasure speaking with you today, and I hope we've inspired some members to renew their membership, for new members to join, and to tell all of our members how they can get more out of their membership and interact with the membership committee. Thank you again for joining me today, and also for your service as chair of the membership committee.
Well, thanks, Anne. It's been a pleasure chatting with you as always. And whatever we can do to help you as in your role as president, we're glad to be of service. So we appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you so much.